Hola everyone, welcome to this math video. It's chapter 12, lesson 2, and it's a good day to have fun with some math. And this is on histograms, and we're going to interpret data. So let's read this first statement here. It says data from a frequency table can be displayed as a histogram. A histogram is a type of bar graph used to display numerical data that has been organized into equal intervals. These intervals allow you to see the frequency distribution of the data, or how many pieces of data are in each interval. Okay, I'm going to make this a little bigger. It's and I'll make this a little smaller. Okay, kind of squeeze my head there. So what we have in this this chart right here, we have the costs of different remote control airplanes. All right. There's no space between these bars, and because all of the intervals are equal, all of the bars have the same width. Okay, and it's really hard to see. You could get your book, and you'd go to page 872, and you'd be able to see these dollar amounts more clearly. And the intervals, let me see if I can even make this a little bigger. It's really hard to see. Sorry about that. It is $25 to $49.50, $50 to $74.99, $75 to $99.99. So you can see that it's going up by $25 every time. Basically from 25 to 50, 50 to 75, 75 to 100, 100 to 25, 125 to 150, 150 to 174, basically, okay? We know that there's none at this level right here, okay? We can kind of look at this real quickly, and see that the most, or the mode, is going to be remote controls, airplanes between $25 and $50, or $25 and $49.99. There are a few, looks like there might be about the same amount right here and right here. Looks like about 1. It's between the 0 and 2. So there's 1 there. And there's quite a few here. Looks like probably about, let's see, that's 6, 7. I would say 7 that are between 50 and $74.99. Okay, so let's pull this back out here, and we can interpret all that data. Okay, now let's look at this example over here. Example 1. Refer to the histogram above. Describe the histogram. How many remote control airplanes cost at least $100? Okay, how many cost at least $100? So now we're going to just look at this. I'm going to make a little mark here, at least 100. So we're right here. So we got to figure out how many is this. There's 2 there, there's 0 there, and there's 1 there. So how many remote control airplanes cost at least $100? I would say it would be 2 plus 0 plus 1 would be 3. Let's see what they say there. There are 9 plus 7 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1. So there's 20 prices in dollars recorded. More remote control airplanes had prices between $25 and $49.99, which is what we said, than any other range. There are no airplanes recorded with a price of $125 to $149. All right, the remote control airplanes had prices between $100 and $124.99, and 1. So there's 2 there. There's 1 that was between $150 and $174. So 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 remote control planes had the price of at least 100. When you have a histogram like this, it's easy to see quickly what you're being asked to find out. You can just look at the data, look at the bar graph, and interpret. All right, now we have some data here, and we're going to construct a histogram. You can use the table to construct a histogram. So this table says daily visitors to selected state parks. So one state park had 108 on a day, 165, 327. There's all sorts of numbers here. So we're going to do a frequency. I'm going to make this a little bigger. Okay, pull it up here. Make me a little smaller there. There we go. All right. So we have, let's use, it looks like the least. We want to go to the least. Nothing under 100, and 108 looks to be kind of the smallest. And then we go all the way up. Let's see, you have 382 here. Anything bigger than 382? Nope. So what they decided to do was use a scale, and it's about 50. So 100 to 149, 150 to 199, 200 to 149. So it goes up 50 every time. And we want to see what we have here. Then we did a tally mark. So for 108, that one would go right here. So we did one tally mark. And you can see they did tallies for all of them. So the frequency that we have two that were between 100 and 149. Then we had 7 between the next one. Then 8, 1, 1, and 1. So we could say the most is this 200 to 249. Okay. Let's actually do this histogram now. We're going to draw and label a horizontal and vertical axis. Include a title. We have to have a title on this, so we called it Daily Visitors to State Parks. And we have to show the intervals here. This one is, it's hard to see right now, but you could look in your book. It's the 100 to 149. This is 150 to 199, and so on. Okay? It moves in numerical order. Now, the next part shows how we put that data on here. So we made this chart that has the frequency of 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Now, when we look at 100 to 149, we see that it's 2 people. So we go to the second line here, and we fill it in. Then 150 to 199, there was 7. So we go up here. Between the 6 and the 8 is right here. And we filled that in. And so on. And we just put this all down here. And we can interpret this data pretty easy. This being the most. This one is quite a few. And then we had these that are just a little bit less, or not very much. And there's only 1 in each of those categories. Okay? So that's how you take data from a data set and put it into a chart. You create your chart, and then you finally put together your histogram. All right, so let's construct a histogram here. This is the guided practice. You can watch me as I work through this. We have a table right here, number of books read, and it's asking us to draw a histogram to represent the data. All right, so we have these intervals, 0 to 2 books, 3 to 5 books, 6 to 8 books, 9 to 11 books, 12 to 14 books. So it's intervals of 2 here. So what you can do on here is you go 0 to 2. And then if we make little lines here, boy, that's not a straight line, but it'll work. Okay, I'm going to get my eraser here, make these nice and even. There we go. Then we have 0 to 2, we have 3 to 5 right there. Then we have 6 to 8. Then we have 9 to 11. And we have 12 to 14. Okay? So the 0 to 2, we did tally marks over here, and then we added all the tallies up, and we can see how many people read that number of books. So 6 people, and let's do, we're going to need to go to the maximum of 10. So let's go, it's hard to see this graph. Here's what I'm going to do. Go like this. Oh, I just drew on me. That's interesting. Okay, still learning about my new iPad Pro. Okay, let's put 0 is on the bottom there, and then let's go by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. This is really hard to see, I know, but hopefully you're getting an idea of how to do this. Not too bad. It's looking at your data and putting it onto a chart. Okay, so we have 6 people, 0 to 2, so we go to the 6 here, and draw a line here. And then we have the 6. There we go. Now 3 to 5 has 10. So we go up here to 10. This one. And then we color it in like this. Okay. Then we're going to go to the 6 to 8. There's 7. So this one is 6. There's 7. Okay. You can do this more exact on your sheet when you do some independent practice. 9 to 11 is 3. So that one's way down here. And the last one is 4. Okay. Alright, so there we did our little histogram. Then it says describe it. Well, by describing I could say the most amount of people read between 3 to 5 books. Second most would be 6 to 8 books. So I could say between 3 and 8 books was a lot of kids. Okay. Not many read 9 to 11, but then there were a few that read 12 to 14. And some read the 0 to 2. You can kind of look at it and interpret the data. Now, how many students read 6 or more books? So here is where it's 6 to 8. This whole part right here. So 6 to 8 is 7 people. 9 to 4 is, or 9 to 11, that's an 11. 9 to 11 is 3. And then 12 to 14 is 4 people. So we add those numbers up and we get 14. So 14 students read more than 6 books. Okay? So you get the data set here. You put it into, you see how many books, the frequency, and then you set up your histogram and put a little bar graph there, and you can interpret the data. Okay? So you can practice this with the independent practice and the extra practice. Have fun.